What's up, guys? After 19 seasons, Jason Spezza has retired. It's a sad day in the hockey world, but he's not going anywhere anytime soon because he's actually joined the Toronto Maple Leafs organization, working as an associate with Kyle Dubas, third GM. For how long? They didn't really announce details in terms of the length of his contract, but I think the goal at the end is for Spezza to eventually become a general manager, which many players have done in the past, like Joe Sakic, for example, or Steve Yzerman. Um, Jason Spezza, a guy who was an absolute legend for Ottawa, he uh, he ends his career with Toronto. He was a very passionate guy, and despite not being the same player he was when he was younger, being relegated to a fourth line role, he played some great hockey up until 38 years old. And he was a guy that always gave his 110%. And I think he was a good mentor for many of the Toronto Maple Leafs fans since he joined in 2019. And yeah, it's a sad day. And today we're going to be honoring Jason Spezza and talking about, is Jason Spezza a potential hockey Hall of Famer?
I mean, I'm gonna kind of go first. As a kid, I was a big Jason Spezza fan. Really loved his time in Ottawa, especially when he played with Danny Heatley and Daniel Alfredson. That trio, especially in the early 2000s and close to the early 2010s as well. That trio is what a lot of people remember, especially my childhood. I remember that trio, and I remember how good they were. Do I think Spence is a Hall of Famer? No, for a lot of reasons. One, never won a Stanley Cup, never really won any individual trophies as well, didn't play in the Olympics. So he didn't win anything meaningful in his career, but he was a good servant. He was a good player. He was the captain of the Ottawa Senators. He was the assistant captain of the Ottawa Senators. He played for three teams and he did well in all three teams that he was at. A little bit, obviously, Toronto towards the end of his career, but what I really liked about Jason Spezza, one of my favorite memories of him was the year that they went to the Stanley Cup final, 2006, 2007, when they played the Anaheim Ducks. And why I remember that is because that was kind of the year that Jason Spezza and Danny Heatley and Daniel Alfredson broke out and became the trio that they were, right? And he scored the go ahead goal in Game 5 against the Buffalo Sabres, which eventually led to them getting eliminated and Ottawa going to the Stanley Cup final. So he played a big part in that. And I look, he's had a tremendous career. The only unfortunate part about Jason Spezza that I'm gonna say is he fell just short of 1,000 points. He finished his career with 995, and it would have been really nice to see him get 1,000. Unfortunately, injuries also played a part in that over his career, which would have potentially helped him get there. But it just sucks that he calls it quits right before he reaches 1,000, especially since he was so close.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. And he played a lot of games too.
Yeah.
1,248 games played, 363 goals, and 632 assists. So obviously, he's more of a playmaker than goal scorer. The points show right there. And a little like Timbit, his plus and minus +5. So he doesn't finish in the negatives.
But he's also a four-time 30 goal. I believe it's four-time. Wait, one, two, three. Yeah, four-time 30 goal scorer. So that's for a guy who was known as a playmaker to still have 4 seasons.
Five
Of,
times 30.
oh, sorry, five time.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry, 5 time. I didn't read it right. See, but yeah, so 5 time 30 goals. That's impressive. Like for a guy who's a playmaker, that was pretty impressive. And again, his third year in the NHL, his third full season in the NHL, 90 points, 87, 92. He was a great player for the Ottawa Senators. But even when he went to Dallas, and one thing I wanted to talk about too is that trade on July 1st, 2014, when Ottawa traded Jason Spezza and Ludwig Carlson to Dallas for Alex Chiasson, Alexander Guptill, Nick Paul, and a second-round pick. At the time, I looked at it and go, Dallas got a steal. And I still believe that was a trade in Ottawa Senators history that I think was a dumb trade. I know Nick Paul ended up being a decent player for Ottawa and so on, but still with all of that, it ended up
For Jason Spezza, an Ottawa legend, to give up that, in return, it's very
yeah,
underwhelming in my opinion as a
yeah.
return. I mean,
And that's it. So I think that there's definitely, it was definitely unfortunate for him too. So, you know. That's how I see
So,
it, at least.
Chris, so what do you think? Future Hall of Famer or not?
Oh yeah, well, yeah, definitely. I think future Hall of Famer. Uh,
I don't agree with that.
I remember the season where they went to the finals against the Anaheim Ducks. I wasn't I wasn't a fan of the Senators, obviously, because I'm a big Ducks fan. But I still remember. I'm not too sure which year it was. McDonald's, when you used to order Happy Meals, they used to give you like these miniature little cylinder boxes. There you go. I have a Jason Spezza one. Is that a Jason
And
Spezza one?
what do you think?
I have the exact same one. I even have his.
Jason Spezza,
It's an.
baby. I'm
It's.
glad you mentioned it.
Is it a Sherwood? If I remember
Yeah,
correctly, it
it's
was
a
the Sherwood.
Sherwood.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that stick, white tape and everything. So when I got that in a Happy Meal, I was, it's not that I didn't know hockey that like super well, but I was like, who's this guy Jason Spezza? And then my brother's like, oh yeah, he's an all-star player. He's gonna be playing against the Ducks, and I was like, oh okay, cool. And then I think he's Italian too, if I'm not mistaken, or Italian
probably
origin.
his heritage. Yeah, it's probably
Yeah,
Italian.
so and I started keeping a close eye on him, and I liked him as a player ever since. I mean, then again against the Ducks, I wasn't not too big of a fan, but after the Ducks won, I was like, okay, I could
Uh,
jump on the Spezza bandwagon.
I don't think personally I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I think to be a Hall of Famer, you have to have
Well,
done something like tremendous in your career.
Can
I
I
don't think
mention what he's done in his career? Just to
I
like,
just
900 points, pretty impressive though.
yeah, but for Hockey Hall of Fame, like I'm talking about Hockey Hall of Fame standards, okay? When you talk about the guys that are in the Hockey Hall of Fame, a lot of them have either won Olympic golds or Stanley Cups or have won individual awards. Jason Spezza hasn't done that in his career.
he's never represented
He made
Canada
it
in
to
the
one Stanley Cup
Olympics
final.
either. So Spengler Cup 2012, he won gold. World Juniors Championship 2002, he won silver. 2001, he won bronze. 2000, he won bronze. World Championships 2015, won gold, silver in 2009, and 2008 he won silver. So he never represented the Olympic Canadian team.
Yeah.
But he has represented Canada on
Well,
multiple
listen, if
occasions.
he's not going to be in in the NHL Hall of Fame, I mean, listen, though, in my opinion, I think he's a talented player, is Hall of Fame material. I mean, let me take that back. I think it's kind of pushing it. Ottawa Senators Hall of Fame, sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe
Ottawa
Ottawa
Senators.
Senators I can agree with, but in
Yeah,
terms of
But if I'm not
100%.
NHL Hall of
mistaken,
Fame,
in the Hockey Hall of Fame, listen, I haven't been since 2011 or 12. The Hockey Hall of Fame, I think each team has its own section, if
yeah,
I'm
but
not mistaken. So I think it technically is that really? It's technically in the Hall of Fame, right?
I
So
don't know. I think he should be. I think he should be honored by the Senators. If we're talking about him like retiring, maybe retire his number. I would see
Yeah, that
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 as a
makes more sense.
possibility.
I agree.
But I don't. In terms of like I think a jersey retirement in Ottawa would make a lot of sense for him. Kind of the way Dave just mentioned right now, which is kind of funny. But like I kind of agree with that. I think they should retire his number in Ottawa. I think he was a big part of that success. And actually, it's kind of funny. Chris, you showed your figurine to Jason Spezza, and I kind of have this from when I was a kid. It's
He's
basically a Jason
leaping off
Spezza.
the boards.
Yeah,
Line
it's basically
change.
him off the board, so it's pretty cool. I've had this like for a long time. This one, it's when the old jersey was there. Like now, it's actually the new jersey that Ottawa has. But
my
back
dog's
then,
not camera shy, by the way. Sorry,
oh, it's all
It's
good.
okay.
he's
My
just
dog
popping
made
in
an
and out.
appearance last
Yeah, yeah.
It's all good.
I was like, Chris's dog made an appearance. So I'm like, let me bring my dog in my room. I'm home alone, so I was like, I need to
Uh,
watch him. And he just hopped on my lap, So
yeah,
Well,
but like,
walking all over the place now.
but yeah, but I personally think Jason Spezza, like Dave mentioned again, yeah, he's not a Hall of Famer, a Hall of Very Good. I think he was an underrated player too. I think a lot of people didn't realize how good Jason
Uh,
Spezza actually was. I think he was really
can,
underrated.
I don't know
So,
about underrated. Then well,
no,
at
I
the
don't.
time, Danny Heatley was much better.
Of course, and
Uh,
Alfredson too.
Alfredson too, but
I would say that
I wouldn't
I
say
would say the
underrated.
line was very underrated in terms of the
Yeah,
history of hockey.
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah,
a line that's not spoken about often, and I think a big part has to do with where they played, Ottawa. It's not the most mainstream team, but I want to talk a little bit about his playoff success. In 97 games, 28 goals, 48 assists, 76 points. That's pretty impressive. And Spezza played very well in the playoffs with Toronto against Montreal in the first round last year. So, I mean, uh, I don't know. This guy was a competitor. He had a lot of passion. He knew his place on every single team he was with. The guy has reached 90 points on multiple occasions as well. To be a first round, second overall pick, to have 995 points. You look at the second round picks nowadays, or at least in the last couple of drafts. I don't think they're ever gonna reach, what
Oh,
Spezza
Sebastian
was able to
Aho.
reach. Sorry?
Sebastian Aho. Second round pick, you said, right?
No, no, it was first round, second overall.
Oh, first.
Yes.
Okay, I heard second
Yeah.
round. I was like, I don't
You look
remember
at Capo
Spezza.
Caco, he's
I heard.
not gonna achieve that. You
Oh,
look at
maybe not.
Brady.
But Jack Eichel's pretty good.
No, I'm saying like the last couple years though, like the last
Last
like
couple
three
of
to
years.
four
Well,
years.
yeah, yeah.
Nolan Patrick
Well,
is
no.
not gonna do it.
Svechnikov's pretty good. Solid
Yeah, but
guy.
he's not a center. Spezza was more of a center. Like Svechnikov's a winger, right? There's difference there.
Maybe Svetch does it, but I mean I don't see Capo Caco, forget it. Nolan Patrick, forget it. Um,
I think
who else
I think
is
honestly though, I think it's still early. Like I'll give you an example, right? Jason Spezza's an example of a guy that didn't start his NHL career right away, right? He was drafted in 2001, played another year in the OHL, had 60 points in 26 games, and then came to Ottawa.
Well,
And kind
listen,
of
his
like
first year in Ottawa got 21 points in 33
but
games.
I
That's
what
pretty
I
impressive. It's
but
more
that's
than
what I'm trying to say is if you look at a guy like Quinton Byfield, like I'm saying I think we're writing off like yeah, okay, maybe the other ones like Kako and stuff that I can agree with. But if we're talking about guys that just recently got drafted in the last 2 to 3 years, I think it's way too early to write them off yet because you never know. Guys
Yeah,
develop
that's a valid point. For me, I was looking more at Kako and Nolan Patrick, to
yeah.
be honest, as examples. My whole point essentially is that Alfredson could have easily gone first overall, based off the production and the impact he's had on in the NHL, essentially. Especially the Ottawa Senators. He was also a two-time All Star player, 2008 and 2012. Going back to the line that you were
You
talking
mean
about.
Spezza because you said
yeah. I
Alfred.
said Alfredson. I was
Oh
confused there.
my god, I'm so
Who
sorry.
was
Thanks, guys.
drafted? Who was drafted first overall? Just out of curiosity, that year.
Ilya Kovalchuk.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Technically,
Yeah.
Spezza should have gone over first overall based off
No,
the history.
Kovalchuk's a beast, man.
No, he is
It's
a
fun.
beast, but he did,
It's funny. Just out of
screw over New
curiosity,
Jersey in the league. So
it's funny. Just I know we're not talking about the Habs here, but who did the Habs draft seventh overall that year? Just take a wild guess.
Kostitsyn.
Kotitsyn,
No, Komisarek.
oh
Oh,
girl.
he wasn't that bad.
Yeah, he wasn't that bad.
He was
Yeah, but
decent.
Markov made him look better. Anyways, going back to
Yeah.
Ottawa, the line that you were talking about, Alfredson, Heatley, and Spezza, they were called the pizza line, also known as
Yep.
the cash line.
Mhm.
The reason why they're called cash because Captain Alfredson, so for CA, S Spezza, and H Heatley. This is a crazy stat, but they were one of the most offensive lines in the past 2 decades. In 4 seasons together, they had a total of 1,057 points. So from 2005 to 2009,
It's
that's how
ridiculous.
many points that line got.
It's pretty
How
ridiculous.
does that make sense? Wait, that doesn't really make sense.
But and and honestly, like people were, I listen. I don't remember exactly. Like I was 8 years old. I was 7 years old when they went to the finals. But I remember the Ducks going in there, and people were saying that the Senators was gonna win, and you know at the time I know the Ducks had, I think, they Chris
They had
Pronger was
Scott
on there.
Niedermayer, they had Chris
Niedermeyer,
Pronger,
Pronger, Getzlaff was like
Jean
insane.
Sébastien Giguère,
Giguere.
yeah,
Then again, the Senators too had like
Perry,
big goalie
Getzlav,
Bobby
great
Ryan.
team, amazing team. Both teams are good. No, I'm not going to discredit Ottawa either. They had a fantastic team too. Um, what else? By the way, in terms of where I got those stats of the 4 seasons, there was an article that was written a couple years ago in terms of after the Jason Spezza trade, they released that because that line was no longer there anymore, part of the organization of the Ottawa Senators. So that's why they wrote an article honoring those three players because they were so successful with that franchise. Um, in terms of the pizza line, the reason why they called them the pizza line as well as the cash line, well, I already explained that. But the pizza line came from a promotion where Ottawa Senators scored at least 5 goals in a home game. Then all fans that attended received a free slice of of pizza from Pizza Pizza, and that happened 10 times out of the 41 regular season home games in 2005, 2006, and 5 times in 2006, 2007. So a lot of Ontario citizens were eating well at Ottawa Senator games during that time. And then, in 2013, September 14th to be exact, Spezza was named the eighth captain in Senators history, replacing longtime teammate Daniel Offerson after he signed with Detroit on July 5th, 2013. So, I mean, in terms of Spezza, my take is that he does not make the Hall of Fame. Uh, as a player, he was a fantastic player for the Ottawa Senators. He was a legend. He did some great things with Dallas and with Toronto too, respectively. But he never won anything in his career in terms of like a Stanley Cup, even though he went to a finals. And he did win medals, but at the junior level and at smaller tournaments, not at the Olympic level. So, I mean, yeah, and also obviously he represented his All Star team twice, 2008, 2012. So, I mean, there you have
I
it,
just
guys. We want to hear what you have to say in the comments section below. Do you think Jason Spetz is a future Hall of Famer? And also, do you think that the Hall of Fame rules are became very lenient and they're not as strict in terms of, you know, how the qualifications to be a Hall of Famer? I think they kind of lessened, the restrictions in terms of the qualifications of being a Hall of Famer. I don't think it's as harsh as it used to be. Like you have to win a Stanley Cup and like
Well,
be sorry.
I was gonna say, like, listen, if it's listen, I don't know how it works. If anybody who's watching probably knows, they could comment it. But from what I remember, each team had its own section. So technically, if you're in your team section, doesn't that mean you're in the Hall of
yeah,
Fame?
but there's
Technically speaking.
I get what you're trying to say, but I think there's like a team Hall of Fame. Like there's like every team has their own like Hall of Fame, whatever. And then there's the NHL Hall of Fame, which is basically whoever like is not just their team, but also in the whole NHL. So I think it's like two. Like I kind of get what you're saying, but I also
Yeah,
like
because I mean, if your
I
name's
think
on the
it's the
Stanley
whole
Cup,
league
you're
as a whole.
guaranteed in the Hall
I
of
don't
Fame.
I don't know if that's necessarily how it works. I think it's more of like mind you, I haven't. It's kind of surprising. 21 years and I've never been to the Hockey Hall of Fame. I know it's pretty crazy,
Wow.
Well,
but
yeah, honestly, I went once, and
so I don't
not
really
not
know.
gonna lie, the only thing I remember was the games that they had there because it was so long ago. All I remember was there was a thing with Gretzky taking slap shots at you. That's all I remember,
Yeah, I
really.
remember that.
And I
But
remember the cup, obviously.
Yeah.
on behalf of the Young Guns podcast, we want to wish Jason Spezza a happy retirement. Absolute legend of the game. Well, obviously we would love for him to be a Hall of Famer. Like, a fellow Canadian. We always have to root for those guys. But we'll see what happens. We'll see
Oh,
what
he's a Hall of Famer in our hearts.
yeah, we'll see what the board of directors of the Hall of Fame decide
All
in
are
terms
very
of
good.
his qualifications. And we just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this episode and also supporting us during our matchup videos. I know sometimes our takes are not always, respected and stuff, but we don't condemn any insults and stuff in the comment section. If you guys disagree, politely tell us. We're very understanding. This is a platform where we allow you guys to speak freely and to also give your takes and stuff, but we don't condemn that type of behavior and that type of language towards us.
I'm
We're
looking
very
at you guys,
passionate.
Oiler fans, but it's
you know
okay. I don't take it to heart. I
And
understandable. You guys are passionate fans. I would be mad too. I would be
and
mad
look,
too.
I also like from what both Chris has said. I mean, look, we're trying to grow as a podcast too. Look, obviously we've only done this for it's almost going to be a year now that we've done this, and I think for us too, we're trying to grow every single day, and we're trying to learn different things. And obviously, for us, it's about obviously we have our own opinions and we have our own things of way of doing things. And obviously, if you guys don't agree with certain things or whatever, please say it. Please let us know. But like we said, we're trying to grow. We're trying to become better podcasters, and we're trying to bring as much content as
we
possible,
always try to
the
improve,
best content for you guys.
and we could handle constructive criticism, but there's a way of presenting that type of criticism in the comment section. But we just wanted to say we love the engagement. Keep it up, guys. We're happy with the success we've had, and it wouldn't be without you guys. So thank you so much, guys. We'll see you on the next episode. Have a nice one.